authenticity, which is going to bring you cash and prizes. So, well, not just cash and prizes, but feel goods, and you'll have a yummier life. Hey guys, it's Terry. It's so good to see you. How's your heart? Do a quick little heart check-in. See if you can bring some energy and attention to your heart, because as you know, where we focus and place our awareness, that's where energy goes. And it's so important to operate as much as you can in this human experience through and from your heart, because that is where truth lies. That is where soul lies. Ego is in the brain, in the mind, and it's something we can never escape. So, yeah. Listen, you know, the ego isn't so bad. It really isn't that bad. People make the ego out to seem like a really horrible, terrible thing. But the truth is that the ego does keep us alive, and it is meant to keep us safe. It's just that living in the third dimension of reality, we do have polarity and duality, which are the counter aspects of each other, the complete and total opposites. So there are times when we're experiencing something that isn't necessarily dangerous, but our ego is deeming it as dangerous. So it takes a little bit of time for us to come online and for the soul to go, no, it's okay. It's totally okay for you to move forward and do that action. You're not going to die. It's just the ego trying to protect you. So that's why it's so important to make sure as much as possible you are connecting to your heart, so that you can live a more heart-centered life, which is really more a life of truth and authenticity, which is going to bring you cash and prizes. So, well, not just cash and prizes, but feel goods, and you'll have a yummier life. So there we go. What I wanted to talk to you today was a little bit about the basics of astrology. Now, I am not an astrologer. I just want you to know flat out, I don't do astrology readings. I know some really great astrologers. So if you are looking for an astrology reading, drop me an email or message me or whatnot. Find me on all of the social medias, or you could just leave me a comment or just email me here through YouTube. But I will say that I know some really great astrologers, and you'll be pretty pleased. So I can definitely refer them to you. What I am is I'm an energist. So I'm always able to tap into energy and frequencies, right? So astrology is just another modality of being able to harness energy. And the way energy works, of course, is it's made of light waves, and on every wave is data and information, right? So that is what's happening when you're doing an astrological reading, right? It's just yet another modality in which you can get data and information off of energy. Now, astrology is the relationship of the cosmos and how they interact with each other, from celestial, I'm wearing my retainers, so I can't quite say it. Celestial, whatever, bodies. So there are things like asteroids, for example, planets, right? Constellations of the stars. And it's all, how do they talk and interact with each other? So astrology can actually be super complicated. So it's not just like, hey baby, what's your sign? It's like, oh, I'm a Leo. So you're going to know exactly what to expect because you know information about Leos. No, it's about the relationship and the aspecting to all the various signs, the planets, and the houses in your chart. So I'm just going to quickly show you an example of what a natal chart looks like. This is my natal chart, okay? So as you can see here, this entire thing is a picture of the cosmos, okay? It's of the universe from a geocentric point of view, which means from a picture or a point or for the perception or perspective of planet Earth, right? So in other words, this would be like planet Earth and you were in the middle looking up, okay? So you're looking up. This is a snapshot. For example, this is my natal chart. So this is a snapshot of, here we go. Oh, you can see that. This is a snapshot of what the cosmos looked like, the date and time that I was born, right? So this is information, right? This is the energy of what was going on in the cosmos when I was born. Now, the entire universe, the cosmos, is broken up into 12 sections. You can call them 12 pieces of a pie. I look at it as real estate in the sky. So each one of these sections, right, is owned by, or we should say ruled by, a sign, right? Some of the astrological signs. The astrological signs are equal to the constellations, or constellations, not all the constellations. There are actually more constellations than there are astrological signs, but it is a constellation where the stars are located, their shape, rule over a piece of real estate of the cosmos, okay? So what happens is that when you are born, you have a planet. So for example, here's my sun, right? My sun is in the real estate piece of the sky of Leo. Okay, so that means my sun sign is in Leo, right? And it's in the house, again, a real estate of the 8th house. Is it the 8th? Nope, it's the 9th. It's the 9th. And my Mars is in Leo as well, in the 9th house, okay? And each house represents a different part of your life. So you have a sun sign or a planet sign. You have a piece of real estate sign, which is actually called a house. And then you have the signs. You have the house. You have the house, the sign, and the planet. So planets are in signs. See, here's my Mars, here's my Leo, sun in Leo in the 9th house. Okay, so that's just totally basic. And yeah, there are definitions and what each of these things mean. Again, this video right here is just a very quick, brief sort of introduction, and I've already gone way too long into that. Anyways, what this is this is a natal chart. You get information from the natal chart. There are also transit charts, which tell you and show you information about what's currently going on based on what the cosmos look like, but it becomes personalized for you as it compares. It does a comparison of the day you were born, so your natal chart, and where the planets are right now. So how could, for example, yesterday's full moon personally affect you? Because it's going to affect you differently than it would affect me. And a transit chart would say that. And another kind of chart is called a synastry. I hope I'm even pronouncing that right. Synastry chart, which is compatibility, right? So it'll pull information based on your natal chart and, my natal chart. And we can together do some sort of comparison as to how compatible are we? Will we get along? So that's really good for relationship charts. So if you really want to get an idea of, and this is basic, okay? We're not making this complicated at all. If you want to get a good idea of somebody's personality, you can find out what their sun sign is, their moon sign, and their rising sign. So the sun sign is going to tell you how they identify themselves as. Like, so for me, my sun is Leo, right? So I'm going to identify pretty much my identity is a Leo. And usually when you're asking somebody, hey, what's your sign? It's their sun sign. So you get an idea of who they are. Who are you, right? The moon sign, your moon sign is about how safe you feel in this world. How are you feeling? What are your emotions, right? So my moon is in Libra. Okay, so that should give you an idea. If you were to look up information about Libra, that will give you an idea of how I feel most safe in this world. And then lastly is the rising sign or the ascendant, right? And mine is in Sagittarius. So that is all about how are you showing up to other people? What face, what mask do you show other people? How do people see you? So between those three signs, sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign, sometimes called ascendant, it will give you a pretty good idea of a basic personality, and you can kind of know how that person might maneuver or navigate themselves in the world. So that's just a small, brief little explanation. I can definitely break things down and do some more videos. Maybe we'll have like an astrological section or whatever, because astrology is and has been around forever, and it's pretty consistent, and it's it definitely is a way to sort of look and see how could you harness the energy of what's going on. Now, of course, you should never, ever, never, ever, never, ever, never, and I am totally stressing this for you, hold yourself hostage to astrology, because again, all of this is just potentials and possibilities, whether it's an energy healing, whether it's a card reading, whether it's psychometry, whether it's astrology, whatever it is where you're getting information that could predict future or outcomes, everything always comes down to you and your choices and your decisions. So what energy does is it gives you potentials and possibilities if you're looking at it from a predictive standpoint, but ultimately you're the one that makes all your own choices and decisions, and you choose your way through life. So your reality will be a reflection of who you are and the choices you make. So never, ever, ever feel like you have to be hostage to a planet. For example, Mercury retrograde. Holy fuck, if I hear another like stereotype about Mercury retrograde, I'm just gonna like fucking, although I will say that I do oftentimes for comedic relief blame Mercury, even if it's not in retrograde. It's just, it has become sort of like a pop culture kind of thing, but I'm not gonna sit here and base my life off of stereotypes, because remember, your natal chart and the transit chart of where the planets are at any given time is very specific to you. So just because generally speaking, Mercury retrogrades behaves in a certain way doesn't mean it's going to affect you that way. So never ever be held hostage. General, sure, you can just kind of look over things and go, okay, there's potentials and possibilities, but it's never set in stone. So life is a choose your own adventure book, and you choose your own adventure, and your reality is and storyline, your experience here on earth is based on your choices and your decisions. All right. So never be held hostage by anybody, any reading, any modality, none of those things. You feel me? You feel me? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching this, and I love all of your support. I really appreciate it. So I'm always saying stay connected, because the human brain is wired for connection. So stay connected to your friends and family, stay connected to yourself, and of course you can stay connected to me. Maybe you want to work with me one-on-one. I have several ways of which you can do that. Check out my site, terryhuberman.com, and I'll see ya on the flip side.